Big Zeus. Pull up to the gate at 1600 on the map. Yeah, supposed to be the people's house. I make it like a trap. Marble floors and chandeliers. I'm balling through the wall. Power through the people. Yeah, I gotta make that call. Trapping for the team, red and white and blue. That's me. Voices on the block. I'm breaking through. I got the keys. I'm in the lobby. Yeah, I'm moving like an OG. Posted in the Oval Office in the executive suite. Yeah, signing for the fam. Yeah, you know my game strong. Freedom is the banner, and I got my chains on. Secret Service watching snipers sitting on the roof. Truth is hitting hard. I bury you inside the booth. Founding father's vision. Yeah, I'm flexing with this cash. Big pharma, big tech, turn these dreams to bags. I'm the voice of the hood, trying to come and storm the gates. Ballots in my hands, but the system's overweight. They painted white, yeah, but the stains running deep. Promise they selling it, but you know it ain't coming cheap. Legends walk these rooms, Lincoln, MLK. Now it's photo ops, power plays all day. I'm trapping for the vote. Big Zeus.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Powers in the air. Big Zeus.
WVIP.
Big Zeus. We wanna hear your song. Yeah. Who you think they asking for? They asking for that smoke. People, them players, yeah, y'all think this is a joke. Take it back and write the code. 1600 got your soul. Put my portrait on the wall. They staring at me like I'm cold. Greatest story ever told. I will never ever fold. I'm trapping out the West Wing, doing deals all in the dark. Make your dreams come true. All I need is a spark. Red phone ringing, but you don't know who is on my line. Got the Constitution jumping, yeah, you know I'm so divine. No stains on my kicks and the rally outside. And the gates is locked. This power never divides. Spitting for the block. Head busters make them wanna fight. 1600, do it all day, all night. The people's house is a trap. Got the power, get it back. Money talk loud, time to clap. Fight for the keys, that's a fact. It's a rap, I'ma bring it back. In the people's house, powers in the air. Yeah, it's the people's house. We knocking on your door. It's the people's house. We wanna hear it say Zeus.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Big Zeus.
Let's go ahead and get this show started. We don't got all morning. You all happy to see me? Wow, I'm happy to see you. Let's go. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Can't escape it. It's like deja vu. It's deja vu when I'm running up these racks.
I'm like the Terminator screaming, I'll be back.
It's deja vu when I'm out here flying.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like every week I gotta take out the trash.
I'm on top of my game, ahead in class. You can tell that I made it, look at my grass.
Cars in the garage with tanks full of gas.
Happy Wednesday, Monty.
I won't finish last. Sitting in my living room screaming how we made it. This is supposed to happen when you get your famous.
Hey, the algorithm turned me to a maniac. I guess we going viral cause my Zodiac. I got all these numbers on my spreadsheet. Benjamin Franklin is my bestie, am I right?
And if they is my ex,
Happy hump day.
they don't get me pops if they text me.
Uh-oh.
I say it with my chest cause I mean it.
Welcome.
Got a lot of confidence and I'm
Alright, here's my favorite part. Here's my favorite part right here.
I'ma take off.
This is what they always say.
Tell you what, I was on in Zeus's live.
That's a lie.
That
It's a drug
shit
test.
was radical.
Really? Very radical.
It was horrible. I'm like, you've gone. Zeus has gone way off the rails.
Oh,
It's like deja vu.
good morning, Tara. You hear what they say about me? They never have anything.
It's like deja
They
vu.
really need.
It's like deja vu.
All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we are back in the Thunderdome. Sorry for the late start, but you know how things go when you're in the kingdom. You got to always tend to the affairs in the kingdom, all right? But once again, we are back to do the real work that it takes to save this country, which also includes holding a mirror up to Donald Trump and his legion of MAGA demons who are hell-bent on destroying this country of ours, and we're not going to let them. W's in the chat for Marissa. if you really do enjoy this show, you know, there's ways you can support the platform. Obviously, sending the gifts is cool. You don't have to, it's not required, but rizzing up the live is required. What can you do to rizz up the live? You can share it out. Make sure you share this live out to everyone that you know that supports Donald Trump, so that there's a record out there that they were at least given an opportunity to get on the right side, all right? Because what we want to do is we want to continue to expose these heathens and these demons on this show, yeah, and we do it one show at a time, and we show them who their daddy really is. We show them who they really are, and then we leave it at that. I mean, and so they ask, well, who's going to be the one leading the charge this morning? Well, obviously, it's me, yours truly, Castro. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's me, yours truly. And they say, well, who are you? Well, I go by the name Zeus, or some like to say Triple H. And why do they call me Triple H? Or in some cases, the Rizzler. And if you want to be nasty, you know, I've been called Poppy Chulo, all right? And I've been called so many amazing, and that's why nothing a lot of these conservative men say about me, and none of it bothers me, and I'll get into that in a short order. But yeah, and why do they call me Triple H? Well, it's quite simple. The first H is because I am honest. I am the most honest person on social media, hands down. There's nobody more honest than me, all right? The second H is because I'm humble. I'm the most humble person on social media. You know, if I get it wrong, I'll be the first to apologize. But here's the thing. Just because your feelings are hurt, does that mean that Big Zeus owes you an apology? Absolutely not. And then the last and the final H, ladies and gentlemen, is because I am and will always remain, you've guessed it, the most handsome. Wow. Woo! Oh my gosh, it's getting hot over here. Yeah. It really is getting hot over here. And yes, I did. I woke up like this. Now, many of you know what I do on the show. I'm sensational, magical, theatrical, diabolical, but I'm also truthful. And what that means is I have to give you a heads up. Are there any Trump voters out there this morning? Any Trump voters out there this morning? Anybody still out there pushing hard for the cult? Because I want to give you a heads up. I'm gonna talk about you I'm gonna talk about you today. I'm gonna talk about them today, yesterday. I'm gonna talk about them. I'm gonna talk about you this morning, all right? And if you don't want your feelings hurt, I'm gonna just tell you right now, you should go ahead and hang out with these fake TikTok hosts, because they'll lie to you. They'll lie to you and they'll take your money and they'll say, come on back. There's more where that came from. But over here, nah, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want your money. What I want to do is make sure you are being held accountable for what's happening in this country. And so people will say, well, Zeus, don't speak on what happened yesterday when it comes to racism. W in the chat, a little hot. How many of you saw the live yesterday on TikTok? Well, one, I went into a live Wild Man Grinder 69. Did you see that? And he had a bunch of white guys team up on me and try to lie to me and tell me there's no such thing as racism in this country. Zeus, if you would just stop talking about it, it would all go away. And they said, oh, and Obama was the most divisive president of our lifetime. He was an intelligent black man, but he was so divisive, and they never provided me with any information. And I said, you know what, as much as I don't want to talk about racism anymore, it's amazing where we're at right now in 2026. This demon, this is a white guy, 85 years old, South Carolina, I think, literally got up in my face and told me, a black man, racism doesn't exist. That's all in my mind. Then I said, oh, okay, let's try that. So it's 2026 and racism doesn't exist? Yes, Zeus. You know his voice. And he knows who he is. He knows who he is. And I invited him to come talk to me on my show about it. He said, yeah, Zeus, it doesn't exist. I said, well, let me ask you this. If I say all white people are inherently racist, is that racist? And you know what the demon said? He said, yes, Zeus, that's racist. And I said, see, this is the problem. You just told me racism doesn't exist in 2026. I say something and you tell me it's racist. Well, then obviously racism still exists in 2026, but it's just so happens that it only exists when a black person speaks up. And I said, you can't get more You can't get more silly than this. And so after I exposed him for being a liar and being a hypocrite, WUS Army Union Gang! After I exposed him for being a liar and a hypocrite and a racist, and I'm going to say this once again because I understand very clearly what MAGA represents. And it doesn't matter what color they are. What MAGA represents, you start off top with misogyny and racism. Boom. That's the first thing you got to be. You move a little further to the right, Union Gang. Oh, TikTok, please, TikTok. This is for educational purposes only. I am informing the community. That's it. I am not pushing any bad things. I'm just simply pointing out facts. So you go a little further to the right, you get into that seditionist behavior. We all saw what we saw on January 6th, and now you see Todd Blanche going after the Southern Poverty for Law Center. Now they're trying to say January 6th was staged, just like the Butler incident or the Butler hoax. Now they're all trying to say, oh, it was staged. Oh, give me a break. So you go from being a misogynist and a racist to being a seditionist. And then you go a little further to the right. And guess where you end up? You end up in the Epstein class, right? You end up defending Donald Trump and everybody that's in the Epstein class for being P3DOs. This is what MAGA truly represents. And then what we've learned over the past couple of weeks, months, is you go, what's past the Epstein class? Being warmongers. Being warmongers. And that, now being a warmonger, that seems to be the point where a lot of the MAGA start to say, okay, that's a little too much, because they start to understand that means boots on the ground for them. So, but you see how many things they got to do before they end up, at least having a little bit of awareness, which is what you see with Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene. Well, Marjorie, she tapped out at the Epstein class, right? But she was fine with all the other stuff. She tapped out at the Epstein class, but they're tapping out at the warmongering part. But even then, there are still Trump voters out there that are okay with the warmongering, right? There's no bottom to how low these folks will go. And so once I said what I needed to say to Wildman Grinder 69 and his racist pappy, they dropped me and they blocked me. They blocked me. They did. And then so I went on about my day, ladies and gentlemen, and I just, people say, well, Zeus, how do you go into these lives with these red people, these demons, and just not let it get to you? And I said, you know what? It ain't about what people call me. It's what I choose to respond to. All right. And I know I look better than these folks. You ever put a side-by-side comparison up to these people? I know I look better than them. I know I'm in way better shape. I know I could get a lot of things that I want, and I don't even have to force. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the Rizzler. Come on now. I mean, like, seriously. These folks, there's nothing they have, honestly, that compares to what I got. Not a thing. And then I say, okay, I know what it is. A lot of you, I can see you're going broke. Your wife or your girlfriend, she gave up on you because you was below average, and it's still hurting you to this day. I know it. I told that to Wild Man. They put you off on the people like, well, you just go on to TikTok. You go on to TikTok and talk to your friends on TikTok. I don't want anything to do with you. They don't even cook for you, W. Zeus. So nothing they say bothers me. And I know deep down in their dark, desolate souls, they know that I'm right, and I'm tormenting them. I'm tormenting them, you're tormenting them, and it really is eating away at them, right? And so after all of that, I thought my day was done, right, ladies and gentlemen? This is when I thought my day was done. I'm so sorry. I normally have content, WCC. I normally have content, and I got some content, but I felt like I needed to address this, and I said, well, God, give me a sign. Give me a sign that things are working, because we've been doing this stuff on TikTok for years. I mean, like, give me a sign. DMX has a song, Lord, give me a sign. WVIP. Y'all got me this morning. Lord, give me. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Don't worry. I know where I left off. And again, they say I work for the DNC. I'm not using any notes to tell you this stuff. This is all coming right off the top of the dome. I mean, obviously, it's tattooed in my brain, all right? And that's how great I am at what I'm doing. And I haven't lied not one time. So I said, God, please give Big Zeus a sign that a lot of this stuff is actually having an impact, because the word is impact. It's not just intent, it's impact. W-Ange. How many of y'all know who Brother Dame is out there? How many of y'all know who Brother Dame is out there in Texas for Trump? Lion Lou. Y'all see this? Oh, I got to tell y'all this story yesterday. So, Dame, I really do hope you're here, because, you know, we at least try to keep it on the up and up as men. We always do. We don't like to do any of that zesty. He calls it zesty. He calls it zesty stuff. He said, and he doesn't like it when they're nerds. And so I just wanted to make sure Dame knew. I saw what happened yesterday in I'm gonna call him Brother Tony's live. Did y'all see this? Did you all see? This is why I don't block these people. Oh no, because see, I wouldn't get as much joy. When the tables turn. See, I want to be there when the tables turn, because I've always maintained the same thing make you laugh. Well, what does I say? The same thing make you laugh, make you what? It'll make you cry, right? Hey, Dame, come on in here, bro. I know you in here. Somebody put the bat signal up for Brother Dame, all right? Because I want him to understand. I'm saying this out of genuine concern, because I'm older than him. It doesn't look like I am. And I do believe that to a certain degree, it is on me as a brother out here who's overcame quite a bit for me to at least not pull the ladder up just yet, because I'll pull it up. It's easy to do. It's just, all I got to do is just yank it and say it's over. But no, I want you to understand what I saw yesterday. And I'm just going to give you my perspective. No one even told me to say this. I wasn't even going to talk about it. But what I saw was Brother Tony having a moment with his brother Dame about racism in the Republican Party. Did you see that? Did we ask them to have a conversation about racism in the Republican Party? I was like, no one. Why are you over here talking about this? Just stop, But I saw that Brother Tony genuinely, out of love for Dame, said, hey, brother, you need to open up your eyes and realize, because what they say, realize. Okay, you could go look up the late great Tupac Shakur on that, and that's just some game I gave you. Realize. And so he was telling him, he said, hey, they're kind of using you. He didn't say it in these words, but he said, dang, they're using you kind of like a token. And they were trying to say that wasn't true. They said this one. And so the guy, and he knows who he is. I've never met this guy before, but I saw him and I could hear it in his voice. And I said, he comes up there and he's trying to defend his statement. And I think the statement went something like, Dame doesn't allow people to talk about racism on his platform. He's one of the good ones. Did you hear that? He's one of the good ones. And Tony accurately said, Brother Tony said, I don't know how that sits. How can that sit? How that sits, that sounds a little racist. And what I saw Lion Lou in there crying, just trying to pretend like it wasn't what it was. But then Dame himself came in there. Y'all don't get on Dame. He's trying to figure this out. And Dame went in there. And this was my feedback to your brother Dame. I said, you went and attacked the brother, but not the other. You went and attacked the brother, but not the other. And if that isn't the real issue in the United States of America, then I don't know what is. But they went back and forth about it. And he's trying to tell Dame, like, fool, I'm trying to help you out. These folks are tokenizing you. And you need to wake up and get out of the fog. And he crashed, he fell, he burned. But I'm sitting there chuckling because the lesson of the day was, you're one of the good ones. And I said, wow. He told me, he put something in the chat. He said, Zeus, shut your, and he knows what he said, shut your, and he told me to zip my mouth pretty much because he didn't like the fact that I was in there trolling. I said, listen, I'm hell in these comment sections. It's one thing when a Democrat, and then he accused Tony of being a Democrat. Did you see this? He accused Tony of being a Democrat. Tony's not a Democrat. Tony's roots run deep in the Republican Party, bro. But it's amazing that when another brother tells another brother that's also a Republican that, hey, this party got a lot of racism in it and they don't want to talk about it, the other brother turns around and attacks him. And I said, wow, look at it. What an eventful day for Big Zeus. I get into it with Wildman. Wildman tells me, don't talk about racism, brings his 85-year-old grandpappy up on the show to lie to me and tell me there's no such thing as racism in 2026. But then I say something to him and he tells me I'm racist, which blew his whole argument out of the water. And then we go and get to watch Dame and Brother Tony have an argument about racism in the Republican Party. And this is what I am talking about. This is why I say I must be having an impact on this app. This is way beyond what you can get being number one on the TikTok leaderboard. What I'm doing on this show, that means what I am doing is resonating so well that even the folks in your party are waking up and realizing that Zeus and the Democrats have been right the whole time. Yeah, Lou owes Tony $100, and I do believe that we are at a crossroads right now because, and Dame doesn't want us to do it, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't want us to refer to him as one of the good ones. So if you all could, please find it in your hearts. Do not refer to him as one of the good ones. All right? Because you know what they say, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, well then doggone it, it is a duck. See, there's a lesson that you got to learn in your life, young man. When you start hearing things from random different places in your life and none of them are connected, then that means most likely there is some truth to it. And you need to wake up and start listening to your signs, because these are signs specifically targeted for you, Brother Dame. You can run, but you cannot hide. And that is what the lesson of yesterday was. There is no amount of gifting and grifting you can do on social media to hide your blackness, which is what I've been trying to tell you. And you could call me zesty. He wanted to call me zesty a little bit, but I know I took that from him and I said, no. He's the zesty one. He's the zesty good one. ZGO. ZG. Now, if I'm lying, because, you know, I'm Triple H. If I'm lying, I will take all of this back. But that was just my assessment as an outside observer, W. Chris. And let's not forget, I think there was a moment where Tony also called you out, Dave, about the disrespect towards black women. So when you got these levels of, when you got this level of honesty and transparency coming out, it's really up on you now to make the right decision and to shut this madness down. You can no longer pretend like you are not aware. That's a huge W, Zeus. And I must be really striking hard this morning because, speak of the devil, this is the most racist person on social media right here. I knew as soon as I start talking about racism, this demon would get up in here and try to defend white people being racist. This is Snuggles. What do you want? What do you want?
I think you're overreacting a little bit.
Oh, you think I'm overreacting?
You're at an all Kings protest, right? You don't ask them any questions. Do you ask any of all the white people in the all white, no king?
You see what I'm saying? Snuggles is a Hispanic person, but he believes that he has to shoulder the burden of defending his pappy.
Did you ask
Snuggles?
Them any questions, bro?
Snuggles, just stop. You're a Hispanic person, right?
Right.
Why do you hold on? If you can't answer my questions, we're not going to get anywhere. I just have simple questions for you. Why do you think it's your responsibility to defend white people so much? That's all I need. That's your claim to fame. You do know they don't like you.
Morgan Freeman
No, Snuggles.
No.
Are you going to listen or are you just going to overtalk me? Because I know you got a big mouth. I know you got a big mouth and you can run it like you got a bunch of gas in there.
Those who talk about racism are the racists.
Okay.
So you've been talking about it all morning.
Yeah, you're darn right I can.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't sit here talking about that in my lives. You're the only one that brings it up, bro. No, you can get that smile off your face.
Oh, it makes you uncomfortable?
No, Morgan Freeman says...
Yeah, it makes you uncomfortable.
Morgan Freeman says stop talking about racism.
What is Morgan Freeman to me? Hold on, who is Morgan Freeman to me?
Didn't you see?
He
the
doesn't
interview
run
with
a.
Don Lemon?
Morgan Freeman doesn't run a
He took-
thing over
he
here,
took-
Snuggles. Morgan Freeman doesn't run Big Zeus. You
He
listen to
took the
Morgan.
Don Lemon
Okay,
down on
okay,
that interview.
okay. So
You're
you
nothing
don't.
but a Don Lemon.
Okay, CCW Zeus. I knew I was gonna summon a demon this morning. I make them uncomfortable. I make them uncomfortable on my show. Oh, bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me. Hold on. I made a TikTok for educational purposes only. Hey, Snuggles, you know the drill.
If you're not happy here, then you can leave. As far as I'm concerned, if you hate our country, if you're not happy here, you can leave.
And I can talk about
if you're
that.
not happy in the
Morgan,
U.S.,
Morgan.
if you're complaining all
This
the
is
time,
Snuggles.
very simply, you can leave. You can leave right now.
Snuggles.
Come back if
This
you
is for
want.
you.
Don't come back. It's okay too. But if you're not happy, you can leave.
Hey, Snuggles, I figured you out, bro. You believe it is your duty as a Hispanic person to defend white people over black people and even your own people. Think about how sick and disgusting that is. You really think that they care about you, Snuggles? You're too old to be a fool. You're too old to be a fool, bro. You're older than me, and you don't understand how the game is played here in the United States. Hey, Snuggles, if it's Wildman or you, guess who's going down? It's you. That's how this game works, bro. You are. But you know what, Snuggles? I'll go ahead and give you the title, too. You're one of the good ones. Snuggles is one of the good ones. Right? W to all the gifters, yeah. They know that they are a bunch of racist people, and I don't even like to talk. Many of you, you know me. I don't like to get up here and start going through American history and talking about racism in the country because, quiet as it is kept, I do believe that we have made a tremendous amount of progress in this country. All right, seriously. So it's really not something that I want to go around and carry. But if we are genuinely having that conversation, and I decide to lean in it, then I say to myself, well, listen. Why are you so afraid to hear what's going on in the minds of black people or women? Do you understand what pain and suffering sounds like? And when we articulate what that sounds like and it offends you, I'm sitting there saying to myself, well, imagine, we just said the words. We're just saying the words. Imagine actually living the stuff we're talking about. You're getting triggered by the way we're telling you we're going through our life here in the country. Oh, it makes you uncomfortable, but you don't mind taking black people's money. You don't mind taking the money from the women customers you got, but you just want them to be the good ones just like you. And this is why I say a lot of you Trump voters, y'all better wake up because you only strengthen the resolve in me in terms of making sure I don't let up when it comes to this particular issue. I will stand 100% on the fact that, number one, Morgan Freeman is not my father. I have nothing to do with him. If you believe in Morgan Freeman or whoever, then you follow them, but you don't get to come over here and tell Big Zeus who to follow. I'm Big Zeus. I'm the Rizzler. And then after you follow them, I want to ask you, well, how's that working? He said that years ago. Look at that. We're still talking about racism. So obviously it doesn't work. The only people who don't like talking about racism, it's like people who are, violent and on addicted. When there's a problem and you know it's a problem, you don't want to talk about it. You're afraid to be exposed for what you are. But I'm going to be honest with you. One of the most liberating feelings you could ever have in life is to confront the issue head on and then begin to start doing the work that it takes to actually become a better person. But I know a lot of you Trump voters, you're too poorly educated and you got a lot of evil and hatred in your heart. You're not capable of doing that. So that's why you need to sit your special behinds down and do what? Listen to this special broadcast. W. Zeus. Widespread hate, Zeus? Okay, come on up here. I can tell you why. That was a great question, and it's not hate, it's actually love. If you love someone, you tell them the truth, right? If you love someone, you tell them the truth, right? Why would I sit on TikTok and try to pretend like we don't have a problem in the country when we clearly got one? And racism isn't the only problem. The problem here is a lot of you consider it hate when somebody says something that hurts your feelings. You know what you always tell black people? Comply or what? When the cops get behind us, you don't comply or what? Well, all you gotta do is comply. So you don't care about our feelings? You don't care about our feelings when we get pulled over and our mamas and daddies is crying and people in the community are looking at us and then we're getting embarrassed. You don't care about our feelings? No, you just need to comply. Oh, okay, so you understand what type of time it is then, right? All y'all need to do is comply. Listen to what we got to say. See, they don't like the fact that unlike the good ones, look at that. Look at that. You see this? There's no strings attached. I am not a hand puppet. This is what they get upset about. Zeus he's paid by the DNC. Well, if the DNC was paying me, you think that I would be saying these things? I don't care about any of that. Right is right, wrong is wrong. You can't say these things, and I'm going to direct this specifically to the good ones. You cannot say anything that I am saying without risking losing the people that are actually supporting you. So what does that tell me? That tells me that you're doing everything you can to make whatever you believe is considered money on social media. And that includes you are willing to compromise who you are as an individual in exchange for some dead presidents. That's the sickest and most dangerous thing a person could ever be, right? Because there should be no amount of money. You know, the good book talks about a good name is worth more than choice silver and gold. When you are willing to cash in your name and allow people to mistreat you and abuse you, you know what I say? I don't want to hear it. When this all comes crashing down, I honestly do not want to see any of those crocodile tears. I don't want to see any of this crashing out. I don't want to read about you on the news, because you know where it's going to end up. Somebody says something that makes them really feel upset, and they want to crash out to a brand new level to prove that they I don't know what you're trying to prove, but this is a wake-up call. This is a wake-up call. And if you see people getting upset with me because I'm simply expressing what I have the right to express, then you should check those people, because if it wasn't an issue, it really should roll off your back like water on a duck's back. W. Zeus. Yeah, and again, my eyes and ears, they will be laser focused on making sure that this is not going to be something that's one and done. Every time I feel like it, I'm going to bring it back up. I'm going to be like, yeah. But guess what? You let them call you that. You let them do this to you. How are you going to get out here and try to pretend like you really are something special? You're just a tool. And that's why people like Snuggie, he does what he does, right? Snuggie's he tries to be a good person. They try to, but I see it right through you. You're struggling, bro. You can't say what Big Zeus says. You do not have, you know what I want to say? You don't even have the knowledge that I have to be able to actually speak on real issues, all right? And even be comfortable with being challenged, all right? Without crashing out and crying like a little baby. And no disrespect to babies, W. Zeus. Yeah. All right, and so let's go ahead and do this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire, because how many of y'all think I hurt some feelings this morning? How many of you think I've hurt some people's feelings this morning? You see, how many of y'all think I hurt some of these devils' feelings? Should we stop talking about racism as a country? In this, how many of y'all think we should stop talking about racism? Let me ask the audience this, because this is a democracy. He said, someone wrote definitely. Thank you. W's in the chat. No, W's to the chat. Thank you. No justice, no peace. Look at all these amazing Americans out there. You know, and my perspective is not the only perspective, right? And so what I don't want to do is make it seem like what I'm saying is the only thing. Trust me, a lot of people have a lot more harsh. Like, I talked to my grandmother, for instance. She's still alive. MAGA. The stories that my grandmother and Kabira had her mom on the show one time. The stories that they tell you that they went through, yeah, they will make you uncomfortable. They make me uncomfortable. I'm a black man. I mean, I listen to these stories. I said, they did what? They hit your mama on the head with an axe? Oh. Okay. And you still see the scars from some of the things that they've been through. You still see them to this day. And then you get somebody like that 85-year-old grandpappy of Wildman to get in my face and tell me it doesn't exist. I believe I believe in the tooth fairy more than I believe it doesn't exist. All right, but that just shows you. And you know, they always start out. And again, this is true. Sorry. Soon as he starts talking to me, isn't it interesting how some folks like to assume you don't know anything right before they start saying something? Well, let me tell you something. What do you know about the Emancipation Proclamation, Zeus? Abraham Lincoln. As soon as they start talking, I know. As soon as they start talking, I say, there you go again, being a racist. Assuming black people don't know nothing. It really doesn't work, and so let's go ahead and warm up the Lake of Fire, because this was an amazing. Actually, I forgot to get Lion Lou. Hey, Lion Lou, I also wanted to get you. The jig is up. You're not one of the good ones, but the funny thing about you, Lion Lou, is you're still auditioning to be one of the good ones. Some of these people are one of the good ones. You're still auditioning to be one of the good ones, and it's one of the most saddest and pathetic things I've ever seen. Speaking of racism, Texas for Trump said she got permission, not her, I think it was her friend, but something along the lines that she can do racist things because she dated Lion Lou. Now, remember, this is a white woman, right? Is that true? Is that true? Are there some folks out there that believe because they have a relationship with someone that's colored, that all of a sudden gives them permission to go around and do the things that the person that they feel that person in their community were doing? Now you can do it because you let them slide in your DMs. Yeah, I'd say now if that ain't one of those things, you know, when they think they better than you and they think that they own you, I don't know, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Please, ma'am, and please, sir, y'all need to stop. Just because you date somebody, it doesn't mean that you could instantly get away with being a sick and evil person and that you could do things that are tied to that community just because of proximity. I don't know where y'all getting this stuff from. And again, y'all hate when we talk about racism, but every day you turn on the TV, it's y'all doing some of the most evil and racist things. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the Lake of Fire. I hate to do this morning, but I was really disturbed yesterday seeing all this racism on the right. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the Lake of Fire, and let's go ahead and send the good ones and the ones auditioning to be the good ones straight to hell. That goes for you too, Snuggles.
Silence.
Yeah.
You MAGA Damon.
Now, thank you, TikTok. I had to address it, all right, because, you know, I understand that I am a unique individual. Rick. I had to address it because I know that it would be brewing, and eventually I would need to speak on it. And if you know, and quiet as it is kept, I believe more of this is going to continue to unravel, because you can only run from the truth for so long before you end up getting smacked with the truth. And so I'm going to continue to monitor this situation. And again, my goal here is to encourage those of you who are still under that strong spirit of delusion to immediately hit the emergency brake, because trust me, it only gets worse. The deeper and deeper you go into this delusion. Racism is an issue in this country, just like misogyny is still an issue. And the only way around it is if you commit to doing the work to unpack all of the harm, all of the abuse that is tied to it. There's nothing wrong with looking at yourself and saying, hey, I genuinely have a problem in this area and I need to start working on it. Get around positive people who aren't going to allow you to get away with being a disgusting person, and that will hold you accountable. If they're not holding you accountable for these things, then trust me, they are not your friends. W. Zeus. I have some good people in my life that will tell me flat out, even people on this app, I'm friends with a lot of people, especially on the left, but a lot of them, sometimes I've done things or they've done things, and we're able to at least have the conversation. And sometimes I have to say, oh snaps, I did go too far. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's one of the best feelings ever. It really is, because it challenges you to grow. It helps you become a better quote unquote leader. I mean, and the question is, why wouldn't you want to do this? Why continue to be the same person you were in the third grade? And you're 50 years old. You ain't nothing but an old fool, W. Zeus. Yeah. I know somebody heard what I said this morning, and they're meditating and they're going, you know what? I might not have liked that man's delivery, but he does have a point. And that's who I'm talking to. If you just listening to what I'm saying, just so you can get emotionally, you can have an emotional reaction and run around and cry and make yourself out to be a victim. You know what I say to you?
If you're not happy here, then you can leave.
Look at all the harm that a lot of these folks who support Donald Trump have done to this country simply because they refuse to wake up and smell the coffee, so to speak. All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're triggered right now. They're triggered right now because they know that when I start telling them the truth about who they are, and when you start telling them the truth about who they are, they know that the jig is up. Right. So let's move it along. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Look at the time. Wow. I didn't even that was like I didn't even realize I had went on so long. I'll be honest with you though. This is something that I wanted to at least address as well, because this is worthy of Lake of Fire treatment. How many of you saw Donald Trump yesterday struggling to read the Bible? How many of you saw him struggling to read the Bible yesterday? This is to me an example of what I'm talking about. Just complete delusion. This is Donald Trump trying to read 2 Chronicles, ladies and gentlemen, chapter 11.
Thus Solomon finished
chapter 11. 7 verses 11 through 22. I just want you to notice how much editing has gone into him trying to read the Bible while covering up his sin, his sinful hand. You see the cursed hands.
House of the Lord and the king's house, and all that came into Solomon's heart to make in the house of the Lord, and in his own house he prosperously effected. And the Lord appeared to Solomon by night and said to him, I have heard your prayer and have chosen this place to myself for a house of sacrifice. If I shut up heaven, that there be no rain, or if I command the locust to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now my eyes shall be open and my ears attent to the prayer that is made in this place. For now I have chosen and sanctified this house, that my name may be there forever, and my eyes and my heart shall be there perpetually. And as for you, if you will walk before me, as David your father walked, and do according to all that I have commanded you, and shall observe my statutes and my judgments, then will I establish the throne of my kingdom according to as I have covenanted with David your father, saying, there shall not fail you as a man to be ruler in Israel. But if you turn away and forsake my statutes and my commandments, which I have set before you, and shall go and serve other gods and worship them, then will I pluck them up from the roots out of my land which I have given them, and this house which I have sanctified for my name will I cast out of my sight, and will make it to be a proverb and a byword among nations. And this house which is high shall be an astonishment to every one that passes by it, so that he shall say, why has the Lord done thus to this land and to this house? And it shall be answered, because they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, which brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, and laid hold on other gods, and worshiped them and served them. Therefore has he brought all this evil upon them.
Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Now, I don't know about y'all, but usually when people read from the Bible, they put their soul into it. You know what I'm saying? And they actually get real, really emotional about the scriptures. But this was an instance that will go down in my mind. Again, there's a lot of things Trump does that they just come and go. But this is going to be the one time where I can honestly say I now understand what it looks like when a demon is reading directly out of the Bible. They're struggling to articulate the words, zero amount of soul in it, and you're literally just waiting for them to burst into flames and catch fire. And I could just see how many times the video had to be edited and cut. So that tells you they had to really, I bet you it took them 3 days, honestly, of practicing. And then they had to piece this thing together because that's exactly what it felt. I had to go read it for myself to find out what was actually said, because listening to him try to read it, it was a violation. It was a violation. And I sit back and I go, think about what Donald Trump is doing right now. Not just him, but his administration, Pete Kegsbreath. They are literally weaponizing the Bible so that people will follow them straight to hell. Right? This is what they're doing. Whether it's Pete Kegsbreath and always, referencing the Bible to justify war crimes. And then you have Donald Trump who's getting into it with the Pope on social media, and he's portraying himself as Jesus. Literally, and then, even with these other posts that he's doing, he's portraying himself as the savior. The man really does believe that he's Jesus. I'm gonna be honest with you. He really does. The Bible bores him because what's more important, the Bible or Trump? In Trump's mind, Trump is the Bible, and he has no problem selling you the Bible. The Bible's nothing unless Trump's name on it. And so I said, this is more evidence, once again, that we're dealing with a strong, evil, demonic force. And so what we got to do is this. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire. We got to send them straight to hell. You don't do that. That's a desecration. That is a desecration. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Donald Trump straight to hell for stumbling and fumbling and struggling to try to read the Bible, knowing good and well he ain't saved. I had to do it.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a W, Zeus. Did you all hear the latest Iran update about the war and the ceasefire? Here it turns out Iran put out a video today, and I actually trust what they have to say is the latest update. And so what they've done, honestly, is they've actually provided us with evidence of how the ceasefire negotiations are going. And so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get this started. And you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. You did. This is how it really is going.
We are having very great negotiations with Iran.
If Iran doesn't come to negotiate, we're going to bomb them.
2,000 years later.
So where are the Iranians?
This is from Iran.
All right. Then I will extend the ceasefire at Pakistan's request.
W is in the chat for Iran. And honestly, I just love the simplicity of it, right? How many of you believe that Trump should just shut up? when they hit so good. Right? How many of you just think that's really all he needs to do? Just shut up. W to the chat. There's nothing else. I looked at that and I just chuckled to myself when I first saw it. I said, there's nothing else left to say after that. They nailed it perfectly. W, Rick. All right. Now I want to also remind MAGA of what else is happening. Here we go. So this is Trisha Hope, and I've been following her ever since she stopped supporting Donald Trump. And she's sending out a reminder to all of the MAGA out there, especially you, Taurus. Has anyone seen Taurus and Ladybug lately? That these are, about why she stopped supporting Donald Trump. She says, "This was the moment I saw Trump for who he really is. After traveling the country to support him, walking the halls of Congress 3 times to support him, and becoming first a state delegate and then a national delegate, all to support him, it all ended on this day, in this moment." So let's listen to, and again, this is going back down memory lane. This is the moment she stopped supporting Donald Trump.
And released yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the staff?
Yeah, sure. If
Pam, could I just interrupt for 1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively, the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Any questions, MAGA? It's amazing. It's amazing how MAGA is now starting to question Donald Trump directly. And you got to ask yourself, what did she see in Trump that day? And you saw it. And I played that because I still get people to come up on my show and they'll say, Zeus, show us the evidence. The evidence is clear right there. This is somebody who's laid eyes on Donald Trump. This is somebody who's invested their time with Donald Trump, giving you, they're like the canary in the coal mine, right? You don't see what's making the canary pass out and lose its life, but that's one of the indicators. When you see hardcore Trump voters saying, this guy is bad news, run for the hills, that's the evidence. And you don't listen, though. So what I'll do is this. I'm going to warm up the lake of fire once again. This is for all the Trump voters that are still out there saying they need more evidence. All right. The evidence you will get is this. One day you will wake up and lift up your eyes where? In hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W, Zeus. I mean, it's so easy. It's so easy. It is so easy. Trump and his family is best friends with Epstein. You're right. You're right, conservative Democrat. Wow. I'm actually impressed. I'm actually impressed with you. The next thing that I definitely got to address on this show is it has to do with the director of the FBI and his battle with alcoholism. And TikTok, this is for educational purposes only. I am not encouraging any of this. This is just simply to inform the audience about what people battling addiction looks like. So yesterday, Todd Blanche, here we go. Yesterday, Todd Blanche and his buddy, Cash Money, we call him Cash Money on this show. They decided to have a press conference going after, I believe it was the Southern Poverty Law Center, and they're alleging that this organization, they've been basically funneling money illegally. When I saw this, I had this, I number one, I'm just not going to trust anything that this DOJ brings. I'm just not going to do it. It's just, I've seen them try to bring charges against all these other people and it never panned out. We see that leadership is struggling. You saw Pam Bondi get let go. You're hearing about Kash Patel. You see Donald Trump's poll numbers tanking. They are so desperate for a victory. So now they want to convince me that this organization was funding the Triple K and a lot of other things that they're just basically trying to link to the Democrat Party. And I'm just sitting there saying, that's crazy, because I seriously don't think you need to pay Trump voters to be racist. They'll do it for free, right, W's is? So they'll do this stuff for free. Don't just try to put it on these folks, all right? This stuff runs deep in the country, all right? And this is just them trying to make it look like they're going after the deep state. And I also think this is Kash Patel trying to save his you-know-what. So this part is when he gets confronted about his addiction. And I gotta watch my words because I know this is TikTok, but let's just hit play.
Unequivocally that I never listen to the fake news mafia. And as when they get louder, it just means I'm doing my job. This FBI director has been on the job twice as many days as every director before me. What that means is I've taken half as many days off as those before me. What that means is I've taken a third less vacation than those before me. What that means is that this FBI with this Department of Justice has dropped the murder rate 20 points. What that means is this FBI with this Department of Justice has captured 8 of the top 10 most wanted fugitives in the world, twice as many as the Biden administration did in its entire 4 years. What that means is this FBI has seized enough fentanyl off the streets to kill 178 million Americans, a 31% increase. What that means is this FBI and this DOJ has arrested 43% more spies in 14 months than the entirety of the Biden administration. What that means is this FBI has seen a reduction in opiate overdose deaths up to 20% alone. What that means is that we have found 6,300 child victims, 6,300 families have their kids back. That is a 22% increase from the Biden administration. I'm on the job. I'm the first one in. I'm the last one out. I'm like an everyday American who loves his country, loves the sport of hockey, and champions my friends when they raise a gold medal and invite me in to celebrate. I've never been intoxicated on the job, and that is why we filed a $250 million defamation lawsuit. And any one of you that wants to participate, bring it on. I'll see you in court.
How many of you believe that? How many of you believe that? Now let's ask him, can you explain the computer login issue? This is when acting, Dave Chappelle had a series, When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong. Remember that part on Dave Chappelle's show, When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong? This is a great example of when keeping it real goes wrong. Now, Cash, I got to give it to you. That first clip where you were just ranting off all these unverifiable statistics and, trying to seem very clear-minded about your job description and the duties you're supposed to be fulfilling, that was, I would honestly say, impressive, because I know that Donald Trump couldn't even be that clear-minded about any particular issue. But I also understand what people who are battling an addiction or they're trying to hide something from me, I know what they do. They do an outstanding job trying to make me believe in something that, what they say is, it's too good to be true. If it's too good to be true, I just tend to believe it is. So you went way too much on trying to make it look like what you're doing is so good. But at the end of the day, you're still ignoring the fact that a lot of us are going, where's the progress on the Epstein files? What happened to Charlie Kirk, bro? Those are like some of your biggest cases. That's two of your biggest cases that you're completely failing us on. None of us care about all these other statistics. So the reporter asked him about the login issue. And that's when Cash knew he was in trouble.
You in court.
Explain the computer login issue. Just explain the computer login issue. You were not able to log into your lawsuit contends that you were not able to log into the system. What did you think after you were unable to log into the system?
Let's have a survey. How many of you people believe that's true? Hang on.
Did you communicate?
You asked the question. Let me answer it.
No, let me.
No.
Did you communicate with anyone that you thought you were fired after you were unable to log into?
The problem with you and your report. Don't cut me off. You asked the question.
Straightforward question.
The problem with you and your baseless reporting is that is an absolute lie. It was never said. It never happened. And I will serve in this administration as long as the president and the attorney general want me to do so. And every time you guys report false lies, every time you guys raise baseless questions, when we are here to talk about the Southern Poverty Law Center's $3 million decade-long scheme to fraudulently fleece Americans, you are off topic.
Look at Todd Blanche. Look at him.
Did you talk to anybody about whether you thought you were
The simple
fired?
answer to your question is you are lying. And every time you do so, I've answered your
Todd Blanche
question.
don't like this, Cash.
It's simply as follows. I was never locked out of my systems. Anybody who says
your
it,
lawsuit says the opposite. Your lawsuit contends
anyone that says the
your lawsuit-
opposite
your-
is lying.
The
Thank
lawsuit
you.
that you filed says that
Look,
directly.
man, stop. You're being extraordinarily rude. And I know maybe that's part of your profession, but please just stop. If you ask a question, he can answer it. And then wait, now you're interrupting me. Like, just a little bit of respect, man. Just a tiny little bit. Try it sometime. Go ahead.
Oh, that was painful. That was painful, ladies and gentlemen. See, and so I got all the evidence that I need to know. Like, this is, to me, it reminds me of being on TikTok, didn't it? Cash just wanted to gaslight, sort of like what we hear when these people get called out for their wrongdoings and their misdeeds. And so, Cash, I just want you to know that your attempt to try to hide your issues failed miserably. We all saw you as the FBI director hanging out with the Olympics at the Olympics, literally getting plastered, bro. Think about Cash. Think about you go to court and you're trying to prove that they're lying about you having a problem. All they got to do is hit play on the video, bro. What are you going to say when they hit play? What? I wasn't on the clock? Game over, bro. That's the most unprofessional thing. That's one of the most unprofessional things the director of the FBI should be caught on video doing. Getting plastered with the you. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in warming up the lake of fire, because once again, we know who believes this kind of stuff. And it's not it's not us. It's only MAGA and Cash. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in sending Cash Patel straight to hell for that disastrous press conference trying to hide his issues with alcoholism. Cash Money.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
And that's a huge W. Zeus. All right, one more topic, and then I'll open up the boxes, and we'll talk and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth. This needs to be at least covered on my show this morning so that we all are on the same page. And you know what this has to deal with? This has to deal with what happened in Virginia yesterday.
CBS News projects Virginia voters have narrowly approved a new congressional map that could give Democrats a huge advantage in that state. Now, how big of an impact could this have on the midterms in November?
Yeah, potentially a big impact, Matt. This vote was narrow. Just 51% of voters in Virginia voted to change the congressional map just months before those critical midterm elections, as you mentioned. But take a look at this right here. The new map gives Democrats an advantage in 10 House districts, leaving just one Republican safe seat. And that could boost the Democrats' chances of winning 4 additional seats in the House of Representatives this November. So no question, right now, this is a major blow for Republicans who are already holding on to such a narrow majority in the House, as we just talked about. But look, this is no done deal. Even though the vote happened last night from the public, the state Supreme Court in Virginia is going to weigh in on whether all of this is legal. Matt.
So that's a huge. That is a huge W for the Democrats. All right, but you know what? I figured we need. Oh yeah, I forgot. Let's go ahead and let somebody that actually is tied. Let's go ahead and hear from somebody you all know as it relates to their reaction to what happened in Virginia. All right, I think this is important, and you all know who this wonderful governor is. W's in the chat for Governor Gavin C. Newsom.
What a night in Virginia. We keep saying it. When we fight fire with fire, we win. And we are winning all across the United States, in state houses, in courthouses, and now in the court of public opinion. But what is at stake is putting a stake in the heart of the Trump administration by taking back the House of Representatives and taking back the United States Senate. MAGA, dare I say, they're losing at their own game. They're on the defense and they're scared.
And that's how we like to keep it. W's in the chat for all of you. And it's not just the Democrats. It's honestly all the independents, the real independents, and the real Republicans who helped to make that possible. We are currently in a situation here in the United States of America where this is what it will take in order to pull the emergency brake up on what Donald Trump and his corrupt administration are doing. I never wanted to see this happen, but unfortunately, these are the circumstances. So again, W's in the chat. There's still hope. All right, let's open up the boxes now. Oh my God, look at the time. Let's open up these boxes and hear from those of you who are brave enough to get in the box and tell the truth. All right, you know how that goes on this show, ladies and gentlemen. You know how it goes. Who do we have this? Good morning, Bounce. Welcome. Bounce.
Oh, hey, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
Huh? I was doing something for Mama.
Oh, okay.
She's good, Mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No.
So, I saw the crash out yesterday, with those MAGA men.
Yeah.
And
thank you, Cole. So you're talking about the situation with the good ones. We'll call them the good ones.
Yeah. Okay, the good ones.
Yeah.
I
can't hear you.
I think that poor little Dame. I said, I think poor little Dame just needs to get on his knees and pray, because when he was in your live and Takesha came up, and then he equated women to Eve and how Eve made Adam eat from the forbidden fruit.
Yeah.
So now we know why he hates women. And he can't get over that.
That's the misogyny in the MAGA spirit. Remember, I tell you all the time, these folks, there's misogyny and racism, right? And he's being upfront about what he is. We got to give him that, right? I mean, we don't agree with it, but he has it. He has that issue, and not just him. It's all the good ones do.
Yes, and that Jim and Lou, that man right there is using black people for tokens. And poor little Dame doesn't understand it. He came up and defended Jim and Lou. Yeah, I saw it all.
It was
I saw your
disturbing.
comments, and they were upset with you. And I said, well, I can't let them be upset with my brother. Now I got to protect him.
Thank you, Bounce, and that means a lot. You don't have to though, but they get upset with me because I say what needs to be said. That's all. That's all. I don't need anything. I just say what needs to be said. And a lot of them, they don't want to be as direct and blunt about it, because they gotta do it in their own politically convenient way. But someone needs to say it, and that's all I did. I said, okay, yeah, I get it. And that's why when they said one of the good ones, I said,
Vegas girl, please stop. Because you come to this live every day. Every day you come to this live. Jim tears you a new a-hole. Takesha tears you a new one. And you still come here. You hate yourself, so you can't understand why Dame hates women. So just go get on your pole, eat 3 salads 4 times a day, and juice.
W Bounce. W Bounce. See Vegas. Listen. You know what? There's an expression. Be careful. Be careful what you ask for. We don't really want to be. Well, maybe I can only speak for myself. I try to be a very nice person. I really do. And then when you get around us and you rub us the wrong way and you don't at least heed to our warnings, then what do you expect? Right, Bounce?
Well, yes.
You're a nice person. You're a nice, wonderful person. I mean, these people just have a way of bringing it.
Until you piss me off or you talk about my mama.
Bingo.
I'm not nice then.
Bingo.
So for me, I'm done trying to convert these MAGA nuts. I'm also done with listening to Trump's voice that irritates me, how he's trying to read a Bible so he can bring in his cult members like he's a Christian. He's not a Christian. He never will be a Christian unless he's reading out of his MAGA Bible, along with the rest of these MAGAs who accept what he does as law. And Dame is one of those. Dame crashed out on that live. Instead of checking Jam and Lou, he want to check the black brother. Not that I care about either one of them, because both of them are leading our people down the wrong path. They are not a good example for black people.
Oh my God.
They are not.
I mean, and it had to be said, Bounce, as much as I don't even want to acknowledge it. It had to have been said. So that's a W for Bounce, all right? Thank you, sis.
He gets up in here and he needs to go see one of those MAGA women's facelift doctors because he needs one because he's starting to look just like them. You know those women when they get around Trump and they become MAGA and they go to Mar-a-Lago?
Yeah.
He got that Mar-a-Lago face.
Who?
Snuggles.
Oh. Yes, Snuggles. You shouldn't have popped up today on this show because that just gave me free reign to continue to just dunk you in the lake of fire. Put them in there.
You know how those women, they come in looking one way, and when Trump gets through with them, they look like they ate 10 sour lemons.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like the Laura Loomers and things like that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And so one other thing I would like to say is hold the Heritage Foundation in the same manner that you hold MAGA, because if it wasn't for the Heritage Foundation, nobody would be going through this. They have some other kind of plan that they have out. I forgot the name of it, but they want to convert everybody into their religion. Esther, it's called Esther.
Wow.
They want to convert everybody into one religion, and if you practice this religion or that religion, you could be jailed. It's in that Esther Heritage Foundation thing. You got to look it up.
Fair enough.
So those are the things that we need to be,
Project Esther.
Project Esther. There you go. And it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing. And if you MAGA women think that you're going to have any rights when this demonic cabinet and demonic people get through trying to implement their way of life on everybody else, you gonna be sorry. Because see, you MAGA women, like he says, you MAGA women, you sit there, you watch your husbands abuse people, and then you smile about it. You watch them abuse your kids and smile about it.
You think so?
I know so.
Lord have mercy. Oh my God. I hope not. But again, thank you, Bounce, because you're bringing awareness to things that need to be at least acknowledged and shine. The light needs to be shined on it. All right. I appreciate it. All right.
And
We're
I
gonna.
want to thank you too, my brother, because
I appreciate you.
Right in this moment is the fact that you are getting it.
Yeah.
That you're not letting these MAGA come up here and say whatever they want anymore, and you're stopping them in their tracks. And I appreciate you for that.
Yeah, because all I want to do is hear the truth, and that's what this is about. So I appreciate it. All right.
Yeah, because we've all had some struggles. Nobody is perfect, but one thing that we are perfect about is the fact that we do not like Donald Trump. Period.
Thank you.
Oh, and one other thing, go look at a tape. I can't think of the man's name. He used to have a talk show. He wore a white shirt, suspenders, but he had Melania and Trump on there. And let me tell you something. Melania could speak clear English in that setting.
Really?
So where she gets this thing where she messes up, she uses it. Yes.
Okay. All
Go
right.
look at it.
I'm gonna look it up. Send it to me.
Larry King.
Larry King. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go look at it.
Yeah, and look at
Somebody
that.
wrote
And then
Phil
look
Donahue.
at the one where she is doing a photo shoot with her husband, and that little demon is running around there. She's speaking clear English on that too.
Wow. So it's all an act. Oh
It's
my God.
all in that.
Wow.
Yeah, she learned it from her demonic husband.
Wow.
But anyway, Flatback, we see you for who you are, Flatback, First Lady Flatback.
There you go.
All right, love you.
Love you too. W's in the chat for Bounce. No lies detected. Let's see. Who do we have here? Is this Captain America?
What's up, brother?
What's going on?
Oh, just another day in this lovely tyrannical government.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, what brings you to the show?
I was just going to chat with you for a minute. I do have a message I'd like to send out, but probably towards the end.
What is it about?
My preferred political candidate for the Democratic Party.
Oh, who is it?
Don't laugh at me. Jon Stewart.
I've heard that actually before. I've heard that before.
Jon Stewart has done so much inside of politics without ever touching a Senate seat. He's helped with veteran affairs. He's helped with 9/11 first responders. He's helped with tax bills. He's helped with a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Is
he even interested in running though? I thought he didn't want to, or maybe because I haven't been.
He's the first time he was asked, it was a straight no.
Okay, that's what.
The next few times, it was like a, maybe I don't want to, but like maybe type of deal. But in my opinion, I think I think we're in a point where people want celebrities in office. Think about it. Every single celebrity that's ran for office has won. So in my opinion, I mean, everyone from Arnold Schwarzenegger to Ronald Reagan, I mean, you name it, any celebrity that's ran has won. So if we're going to have a celebrity, let's get somebody in there with some knowledge of politics, someone with a brain and a heart, and someone who will actually stand against the status quo.
The chat, a lot of people in the chat are disagreeing with you. Did you notice that? What do you think that's about? I mean,
there's a lot agreeing too.
I guess there's some that are agreeing, but what do you think the caution is, or the hesitation is?
Well, I think people have a bad taste in their mouth because of Donald Trump when it comes to a celebrity. And honestly, Ronald Reagan, because he wasn't a great president either, depending on who you ask, I guess. But my only point is this is the direction we seem to be going in society. this is what we seem to want,
Yeah,
and
it's
if
like
this
a
is what we
popularity
want,
contest, right?
exactly. And if this is what we want, then let's get a viable candidate in there. Somebody who cares about the people and knows what the fuck they're doing.
Okay, I caught that now. Okay. You got my mom listening, bro. You know we don't do that, the cursing. But
I'm sorry, I
but
didn't
but
do
every
that.
now and then I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes people say it, and then I just have to go, get taken to the woodshed by myself. But it is what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what part of the country are you calling in from?
Oklahoma.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. I don't fit in around here, brother. I
Oh.
don't fit in.
Wow. Are you noticing? Does it seem like Trump's support out there is staying the same or getting more out there? Or what do you think is going on right now? Because from the way it looks
For-
out here in California, it seems like his base isn't as excited anymore.
For people that don't pay attention to politics and love him because of his character, they still love him.
Yeah.
But for people that pay attention to politics and voted for him on policy, they hate him out here. I mean, I see people putting their Trump flags upside down, their American flags upside down. I've seen people take their Trump flags down completely. I've talked to my neighbor who was a major Trump supporter. The guy loved him, and he's like, basically like, F this guy.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't vote for this. So yeah, he is losing a lot of support for sure, and he's losing a lot of support inside of his little influencer bubble as well.
Wow. Okay. Well, you know what? That's honestly a lot of good news. Because that's what I do on this show. I don't know if you've been listening to me. My main objective, honestly, is to confront and tackle a lot of these these very difficult issues that I believe are creating the conditions that we're experiencing right now in America. And so one of the ways that I know we're having a lot of success is stories like yours, when you're telling me that there are people in red states taking down their Trump, and I call it paraphernalia. You know what I'm saying? Because it's paraphernalia when you think about what they do, right? So that's awesome.
Well, one thing that really annoys me is going into some of these liberal lives where they like to debate with MAGA, and MAGA will come in and they'll admit that they were wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one of the first things they'll do, and people will just tear into them. And it's like, that doesn't help anything. You want these people on your side, you're not going to do it by degrading them.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
You're pushing people away. They're going to end up voting against your beliefs. And so, yeah, it solves absolutely nothing. I get the sentiment. I understand that we're frustrated with these people, but come on, guys. If the main objective is to get these people on our sides, not hatred.
Yeah. Now, and I'm going to be honest with you. I know where you're coming from when you said that, right? And I'm not even going to disagree, because the reason that I go through lengths to have conversations with Trump voters instead of just dropping them all the way is because I'm always trying to be mindful that there may be somebody listening to this conversation for the first time, doesn't know my style, and I got to still kind of demonstrate like, hey, I'm in control of myself. You know what I'm saying? And that I'm able to have a very difficult conversation while at the same time enforcing my boundaries. But I also understand that we are, as Governor Gavin Newsom suggested, in certain situations, we have to fight fire with fire.
Of course.
And I don't mean you got to compromise who you are as an individual, but a lot of these conversations get very disturbing and very disgusting, right? So I'll give you an example. If I bring a Trump voter up here, and we all have our script or our laundry list of things that we could, use to highlight the fact that Trump is clearly a failure.
Right.
One of the things that I'm struggling with, and maybe you can help me figure it out, but we had a knucklehead up here yesterday, Popcorn, who had his corn popped yesterday because he got up here. And I played the clip, and I said, the clip, let me see if I have it, right? You remember this clip?
If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
Of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, the normal reaction to that is, all right, that's a nasty. That's I can't support a man that would say that. I've asked him, would you say that to your children? Oh no, I wouldn't say that. Then why are you supporting Donald Trump? And then they turn around and they'll defend Donald Trump for making that.
Oh yeah.
Now
those aren't the type of people I'm talking about. Those are the type of people they can get what they deserve.
Okay, so you got it in you. Okay, you still got the dog in you. Okay, he got the dog in him.
Of course, the people that I'm talking about, that are the people that will admit that they were wrong voting for Trump.
Okay.
I get the sentiment. I understand that people are frustrated with him. But bro, people make mistakes.
What
People
about, okay, here's another
don't
question.
pay attention, you know?
Here's another
So,
question that I got though, because to your point, like Tucker Carlson, he has
yeah,
gone on record and said, you know, what he said. You following that, right?
yeah, of course.
But then I've seen this before, and then he'll show up in the White House.
I know.
So how are
Joe
you,
Rogan.
yeah,
Man, that guy.
So how? Cause so that's why I kind of I do want to be, as you said, I want to give him a chance, but something tells me, and this is my theory about MAGA. It starts out with misogyny and racism. You go further to the right, you get into that seditionist stuff. You saw what they did on January 6th. Then you go further to the right and you get into the Epstein stuff, right? And then you go further to the right of that, you end up in the warmongering territory. How do you know that when they, you know, their breaking point, like Marjorie, her breaking point was the Epstein stuff, Tucker, the war. But you still kind of have to think, are they still okay with misogyny and racism and sedition?
Oh, absolutely they are. Absolutely they are. 100%.
And that is why I just can't give them the benefit of the doubt at this point yet, because they gotta, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being upfront with you about it.
I get it. I understand. I get it.
But you might got tools that I could probably learn how to use. So what do you got in terms of suggestions, if you don't mind? I mean, this is something I struggle with.
A lot of these guys, and don't get me wrong, and I shouldn't say a lot of these guys just like to trigger people and get triggered. But I do find myself going into these lives where I can have realistic conversations with these people and make them realize that maybe they were wrong about certain things. Now, most of them won't admit that they don't like Trump, but that's because I feel like they're kind of stuck in this situation where they kind of have to, you know? They've done it to themselves dirty.
Yeah,
man. I just think it takes real like you're live here.
Yeah,
this is a good thing. Real conversation. There's not names thrown around. There's not none of this bullshit.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, every now and then it slips up. This is what we should be doing.
And every now and then there might be some names thrown around too. So yeah, but it's not perfect. But yeah, as you can see, I'm very capable of having a conversation. Right. A lot of them, they can't. All right. They're too afraid to have their feelings hurt and the truth be spoken around them. They can't handle it. But I believe that you're onto something. All right, my good friend. Now, a lot of people might disagree with you, so if you listen to the rest of these conversations, you might get some feedback, all right? But I do appreciate you coming up here from the wonderful state of Oklahoma and giving us all hope, all right?
Yes, sir. And I just want to make one thing clear before you drop me. I do not support racism, misogyny, or anything. I do not support Trump. I do not support the Republican Party.
Okay.
My only point is if we're going to change things, we kind of need them on our side right now.
Okay.
We need the vote.
All right,
and
I can respect that.
And also Jon Stewart 2028.
All right, I can respect that.
All right.
Yep.
Take care, buddy.
All right, you too. That's Captain America, ladies and gentlemen. You see that? I mean, aren't I just, you know, and he called it out accurately. So aren't I pretty reasonable? Am I a reasonable person? Someone wrote Harris 2028. Captain America, someone wrote Harris 2028. There's still a lot of people upset about that. All right. Good morning, Takesha. How are you doing?
Hey Zeus, I'm coming along.
You okay?
Yeah, the change of weather out here is really tearing my asthma and bronchitis and all that up. So no, I'm not feeling my best. But listen, what did they say the purpose of Donald Trump reading those scriptures was about?
Just to show.
Did they ever give us a reason?
Nope. I don't know what the purpose was.
Because if you remember in the Bible, Satan quoted scripture to Jesus when he was trying to get Jesus to perform a miracle. So just because somebody read out the Bible does not mean they know God. So that for the people that really know God and know the word, they'll know that that was just something to try to make Christians, and so they call themselves, you know, because if they were, they would know Trump is a trickster. They just trying to fool people. Like this man know the Lord after he done posted these pictures of him as God. It's amazing, Zeus.
Go ahead,
It's amazing that he wrote a scripture that said of my people. Because I know it, 2 Chronicles 7:14, which are called by my name. It said will humble themselves.
Hallelujah.
Seek my face.
Hey.
Turn
Yeah.
from their wicked ways,
Amen.
Zeus.
Amen. Amen.
Then I hear from it. I hear they land. You know, I hear from heaven and hear they land. Trump ain't humble himself.
Nope.
He ain't turned from no wicked ways.
Amen.
He ain't seeking the face of God.
Amen.
So they could have kept that little show.
She's not lying. She's not lying. Wow.
You know what I want them to do?
What's that?
Just leave the Lord alone.
Thank you.
The problem is you got more religious people than saved people. You got people that's holding on to their religion and not followers. And you can tell because of this foolishness they got coming, whatever this Esther, whatever they got going on, Zeus.
Yeah.
If Jesus didn't force himself on anybody,
Right.
why do they think it's their job to force him on somebody else? These are modern day Pharisees. They don't see the wrong in themselves, but they see the wrong in everybody else. And they want to use religion to control everybody.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. They're religious, but they're not saved.
Amen.
They're religious,
Speak on
but
it.
they're not followers.
Speak on it.
They're religious, but they don't know Christ.
Amen.
His name is on their lips, but their hearts are far from him.
That's right out of the survival scroll. W's in the chat for Takesha.
It's really getting on my nerves. I don't like people to try to use the Lord and then try to, make it seem like they so. All he did was quote it because there was no anointment in that.
Nope.
You didn't hear no conviction in that. You didn't hear him humble himself when he read it. He could have kept that show for the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus because maybe they would have enjoyed it because, baby, it made me sick to my stomach.
Hey, W's in the chat for Takesha. Flesh and Blood did not reveal that to you. You ain't
let's
lying.
Let's talk about Tangalai right quick.
Who?
Tangalai.
Tangalai? Are you talking about Cash Money Patel?
Yeah, cause baby.
Tangalai. Wow.
Zeus, that eye traveling like a door-to-door salesman selling encyclopedia. I mean, sure, the man sit to the side sometimes, but he'll travel, Zeus. And he need to sit down. Cash, you ain't have none of this to tell us before that article came out.
Yeah.
Cash, stop trying to act like you working. Stop it, Cash.
Oh, so you ain't falling for it.
And he ain't either, Zeus. And he need to cut the crap. We don't want to hear about the fake news. We tired of hearing fake news. Yeah, the only fake news is what y'all putting out.
Yeah.
We don't want to hear nothing about no fake news. You're drunk. You look like a drunk, Cash. You're drunk when you stood up there in front of the media. You are an alcoholic and we can see it, Cash. Cut crap. Go get you some help.
Thank you.
Go stand up for AA and stop all that lying. Donald Trump is not going to save your job.
Hey.
Ask Pam Bundy, who talked about the Dow while they was up there trying to talk to the survivors. She at home talking about the Dow. Saying to herself, I wish I had just told the truth because I ended up losing my job anyway. Krista Dome is on the out. He going to be on the out sitting at home with that Tangalai saying, I wish I had just told the truth. These folks got to cut it out.
Facts. You know, you can get away with saying a lot more than I can. I don't know how you're able to do it, but it is spot on. I feel the exact same way. As soon as I saw him, I said, oh, look at him struggling. You know, look at him.
Problems up there, sweating like a pig on a spit in Honolulu.
Yeah.
Zeus, he was up there sweating so bad. Problems up there sweating gin.
Yeah.
Gin coming out like his pores, Zeus.
Hey,
that ain't sweat, Zeus, that gin. He just up there sweating all the gin out, Zeus.
You've been around folks that done that. You know, when people got that problem, it really do be coming out of their pores.
They sweat alcohol, Zeus.
Yeah.
Alcohol coming all out his pores enough to make a liquor store. And he up there telling them folks he ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Cashier sure.
Yeah, sure. W's in the chat for Takesha. Yeah, and I'm praying he get help because that's no joke. When you see people battling that kind of stuff, please.
Well, you can't get help if you don't admit you got a problem.
There you go. That's the lesson of the day right there. That's the lesson of the day. Wow, Takesha.
And that's MAGA. If MAGA doesn't admit that Trump is a problem, they'll never get the help they need to tear down that stronghold that he has over them. Because half of them, when they found out he was going to read that scripture, they probably would have put on their church dress and sat in the living room in front of the TV with their Bible. They probably smiling so hard saying, look at our God.
Yeah.
He's reading that scripture. He's got to
Sounds
be
like
a
DJ.
true
Yeah.
save man. Look at Trump. He's coming over to the other side.
He's repented. That's what they're going to say. He's repented.
He has repented, even though he said he's never asked for forgiveness. But it is hard, because God knows the heart.
Oh, yeah.
I believe he repented in his heart without repenting with his mouth. And I believe he's such a saved man now. Zay.
Oh, my gosh. That sounds like DJ.
Whatever.
That sounds like DJ. W's in the chat for Takesha.
Zeus.
Yeah.
Zeus. Trump reading that scripture proved that he knows Jesus. I can't with you, Zeus. I'm trying to save my voice. But let me tell you this, and then I'm going to go.
Okay, what you got?
I went to the grocery store yesterday.
Uh-huh.
This is how I want you to know prayer work.
Talk to him.
I had $171. I said, Lord, I got to pay a bill. It's $40.
Yeah.
I said, I just need to spend $130.
Yeah.
When I got to the register with $131. That still left that 40 for that bill, Zeus. So trust and believe me, if you ask God to do something, he will do it.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Put your trust and your faith in the only one who can give you exactly what you need, will supply your needs according to his riches and his glory.
Amen. Hey, Takesha W.
And you all have a blessed day.
Yeah. And you didn't even say it, but y'all know to hit that Cash App. Hit that Cash App. You got it on your profile. You got it on your profile, right? It's on your profile. Your Cash App. No, because no. If it, no, we hit Cash Apps around here.
I understand.
Because listen, if these good ones could get out here and get some, then then we deserve.
Man, that good one took me to the ground. When that man said he wanted a good one, and you still on his side, when he basically saying all black folks ain't hitting on them, but you're one of those good ones. Yeah, you were the one that worked. Zeus. You were not out there picking that cotton. You got to drive master around with your suit on. You're the good one. You're one of the good ones. Yeah, whatever. Just embarrassing.
Takesha, you better be careful. You better be careful out there because you on to something right now.
I'm trying to
You got my side hurting right now when you did that.
I'm saying they wore their little suit and drove master around. They thought they were better than the ones in the fields. Oh. I ain't got time to play with you. Goodbye.
You making my side hurt when you do that. Okay, come on, Takesha. Please. W's in the chat for Takesha. Oh my gosh. And this is why I say you got to be careful. All right, you got to be careful because the internet is forever in these cases. And she's right. It truly, truly was funny. It was some of the funniest things I've ever seen. Oh my gosh. Woo! W's in the chat for Takesha. Good morning, Shay. How are you?
Good morning. I'm all right. Just getting over a nasty cold myself.
Okay, well, I'm happy to hear from you. I haven't seen you in here for a while, but I've seen you around. So it's good to know you're okay.
Yeah, doing good. Just a nasty cold, but it's all good. But yeah, no, I just find it crazy, right?
Yeah.
You remember when Texas did the redistricting maps? You remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jasmine Crockett lost her seat, through all that shenanigans. Remember that?
I sure do.
And so do you remember what the Republicans' response was to that, to our outrage about that? Do you remember?
No, what did they say? What was their exact words?
They said that oh shit, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh god dang. All right, God to my head. But the redistricting happens all the time. What do we call that? The
gerrymander. Oh no.
Thank you. Gerrymandering. That's the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Gerrymandering happens all the time.
Yeah.
Both sides gerrymander.
Oh.
Gerrymandering's been happening for decades.
That is so funny.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You know what's so funny? Let me see if I can get it up. pull up what happened, right? So I went on to X and I put W, Gavin Newsom. I said, you kicked this off, and now Trump is pooping his diaper, and what's left of his cult are panicking. And his supporters, they started lashing out at me. And they wrote a bunch of nasty things. Let me see what I can find. Just reading some of the remarks that MAGA says. Who's panicking? The Democrats are, which is why they and you are engaged in these tactics. and you're like, y'all started this.
That's exactly right. You started this, and we're, as Gavin Newsom said, we're finishing it.
Amen. Fighting fire.
We're finishing it.
Yeah, these people
the polls are always on the Democrat side. A majority of Americans actually lean liberal. A majority of Americans want policies for American citizens.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's why independents will swing one way or another, because when things are going against Americans and we need to focus and we got too much going on foreign policy wise or whatever,
right?
Then a lot of Americans will switch over to, let's vote for the party that's talking about doing more for our veterans, our, medical, our this, our that, or this. Most Americans want things for themselves, right?
Absolutely.
The kitchen table issues, right?
Absolutely.
Most Americans want that.
Clean water, clean air, the list goes on and
Education for kids, exactly. Lower taxes, medical benefits, veterans taken care of, homeless being taken care of, elderly being taken care of. Exactly. Common sense stuff. That's most of Americans. And you have the fringes that are on both sides. But those are such a small percentage. And the thing is that that's why MAGA was created, is out of the Tea Party, but also out of the need. And most Americans that were not politically active or knowledgeable, when Trump came on the scene, they really thought that he was going to be a man for the people. That's how he sold himself in, right?
Yeah.
And everyone else that knew him and saw through the BS warned and said he doesn't actually have the capability of doing what he said he's going to do.
No.
And so they gave him an excuse his first term because, they sent out that he's being victimized and weaponized against him with his impeachments. And then those 4 years while he was being indicted and, all this stuff.
Rightfully
and then the
so.
Fake Butler incident, right?
The Butler hoax. The Butler hoax. Do
you find that funny that they're now talking about it?
Yeah.
Now that they've lost support, now that they don't like him and he's not doing anything he promised, they're like, maybe that Butler incident was fake.
Yeah.
Anybody
out there?
Weird?
Is there anyone out there that believes that the incident that happened in Butler was actually true? Anyone still believes that? Because it's how many is it? Like they're like almost 2 years has passed. Almost 2 years has passed. So that tells us mathematically, in a way, MAGA is around 2 years behind, right? At least.
Yeah.
Am I right?
They are.
At least 2 years behind from where the average person with a brain is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I mean, we all knew it because he was pictured 2 days later without the bandage. There was nothing in his ear. Like and the thing is like when they never did any investigation on Thomas Crooks or Matthew Crooks, whatever his name was, there was nothing. His family wasn't interviewed. I mean, if you had a guy that would seriously almost unalive the president, wouldn't you want to know who he is and where he is and all that? Like,
we want to find out who he is. We want to get his family in there. I want to see his man. I want to hear from his mama, his daddy, his sister, his brother, the dog, the cat, the bird, everybody in his neighborhood. Everybody got to tell me who this guy was and how the heck he was able to pull this off.
Well, do you remember there was a whole investigation against the Secret Service after that in Congress, and I think the head lady was fired.
Yeah,
but yet the weird, but the guy in the white shirt, he was
promoted.
That was all involved in not protecting, getting Trump's head down, and doing all this stuff and all that. He got hired in a higher rank. He's still in the Secret Service.
Wow.
So it's just really weird that, when that first happened, everybody's outraged about Secret Service, and rightfully so. That guy should never have been on top of that building if they were doing their job. But it's so weird. Yeah, exactly, RC Dubs. And you watch the video, which you've shown, like the camera action and him standing up and the fist bump and the flag being gently lowered behind him for that photo op. And you see these people running around with the shirts of that picture. And,
Yeah.
oh my God, you
Yeah.
know, and it just, and it worked. It was a great publicity stunt. And now they're like, wait a minute. What the
Wow.
heck is going on? This is nuts.
Central casting. And he always does say central casting. He's telling on himself. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that's actually hilarious.
Oh my God.
He always says that in the middle of an interview. He looks like central casting. And you're going, what does that have to do? But now, when you start talking about all of this, it might be the world he's in.
Well,
where
look
he
at the DoorDash lady.
Oh.
I mean, come on. They're constantly doing this stuff. And you guys you fell for it. And then, so when I look at what happened with Tony L and Dame yesterday, I watched all that go down.
Oh, you did?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Shay.
And Jam and Lou and that all stuff, you know, because they're coming after Tony because he's like, you know, he's not going to be a Democrat. Nobody thinks these people are going to suddenly turn and vote Democrat.
Right.
But the problem is they realize they're waking up and realizing that everything they voted for, he's not doing. You know, you got Suni, who she was behind him in pictures and rallies, was a 3-time Trump supporter, black woman, conservative. And she's sitting here going, where's the perp walking? You promised that you would clean the swamp. I mean, like, but Suni, you fell for the lies. That's the thing, is that you voted for the swamp. Yeah, we got Maverick. You know, I mean, whoever thought that was going to happen? There's a lot of them. Natalie, Flower Mound.
And you know what? And to what the last guest was saying, those are the ones where I'm going, okay, I'll retract the things. I can do it with that because, you know, and I'm not expecting them to be Democrats, but I don't really need to invest too much of my energy making them seem like they are the problems at this moment, because really this is somebody coming out and saying like, hey, I've been duped. Right. That's a tough thing to do. So I got to give them credit for doing that.
I definitely think we need, this isn't about forgiveness, guys. This is about understanding that this is what happens. This is propaganda. This is how the Holocaust happens. This is how all this stuff happens. And you just got to own that you were lied to. And that's okay. You move on, you know?
It's the most liberating feeling ever.
Yeah.
And not in this particular instance, but in general. When you acknowledge that you genuinely have an issue and you begin to take accountability for it, it's truly the most liberating feeling.
It is.
And the fears a lot of us tend to have is we don't want to lose relationships, right? You know, you don't want to lose this, but you have a lot more that you're going to gain. And that's the part a lot of people around you that don't have your best interest in mind. They don't tell you that part. Maybe because they've never experienced it or anything like that. But you're going to literally look back and go, wow, I'm a good example of it, Shay, to be honest. Now, I just thought of that. I would have never thought I'd be on social media, TikTok, meeting all of these wonderful people. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't decide at a certain moment, like, hey, this lifestyle that I'm doing ain't working. Got to switch gears. Got to take accountability. So that's a huge W to Shay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shay.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. No, it's so true. And listen, I get it. We can talk. There's quite a bit of conversations that I'm having with people on the right that I didn't really like having before. But, you know, and that's okay. We've got to remember that we are all Americans, right? And not everybody voted because they're racist. Not everybody voted because of this and that, right?
Yeah.
So you have to understand that there's reasons that they really wanted to see done. They knew that there were problems, but they really felt like this needed to be done. And we have to own it on the left and say, we have to hold Joe Biden and many of them accountable and say, this is something, this should have been focused on more.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
And we have to be honest about that.
Yeah,
I mean,
I don't worship Joe Biden or Kamala Harris like that, but
I still think they were the better option. Don't get me wrong.
W Shay. I mean,
I mean, don't get me
because
wrong.
no one's perfect. That's all I was trying to say. I don't think anybody is perfect, and that's why when they bring up Morgan Freeman said this and that, I'm going, none of these people, none of these politicians run my life. You got to understand, that's like the first rule of being around me. Like, nobody gets to tell me what to do. I mean, and that's maybe a good thing or it may be a bad thing, but no, if you're right, you're right, you're wrong, you're wrong. And if Joe Biden, and he's done things, you know, where you're going, okay, Biden, knock it off. But nothing is egregious is what we're seeing right now.
No, I get it. And listen, did you say they voted for hate? What it was, what they're voting on is that they were convinced, they were fear mongered, right? That their country is doing this and that the left is doing this and that the illegals are doing this, quote unquote, right? That's what the words they use. This is what happens to people that don't have real good conversations with everyday Americans, and they stay in their bubbles and they stay where it's comfortable. So they are absolutely inundated with fear mongering. So they voted out of fear, honestly, more than hate. Do some of them hate? Absolutely, 100%. But not everybody hates. And also remember that they're wrapped in this Christian ideology, right?
Oh,
so
and a lot of bad
so there's
things are
also
done. A lot of
right
bad things
and,
are done in the name of God.
right, and so there's a lot of things like that it's convoluted, guys. It's really convoluted. That's why we have to have conversation.
W to the chat. W to Shay.
Yeah.
Shay. They're saying Shay. Our chat is saying we're not there yet, Shay.
I know.
these
You
are
know,
some-
I love you guys. I
these are
get
some
it. I get
hateful
it. I'm
people.
not-
They believe, and again,
there are some hateful people, 100%.
And again, I know what you're saying too, because you do have some diamonds in the rough, okay? And I do believe, like,
Yeah.
I'll go and say a lot of the younger Trump voters, I'll be like, all right, you genuinely were fooled, and then your parents were involved.
True.
I can actually give that to you, but I struggle, Shay, and maybe I got to look into it, but I'm sitting there going, how did you live through his first term and decide to go and vote for him again?
Oh, absolutely. I don't get it. After January 6th, I really
or
don't get it.
C-19.
The handling of COVID, yeah. I don't get it.
Do you remember how
And then the stealing of the documents. I mean, come on, guys.
But Shay, let's go to C-19. I didn't want to bring this up. Do you remember how exhausting every day was while Trump was in office? I mean, we had the countdown on the news about how many people were unalived. Folks was getting gloves. We were running out of supplies. I mean, this was, and he's getting on. I mean, how could you forget that?
Right.
That's the thing I don't get. And so,
I don't either.
Yeah. That's
why every time they come up and they're like, well, I kind of regret it. And I always say, but how did you vote for him after COVID and after January 6th?
Yeah.
And proving that he's a fraud and Gene Carroll and all this stuff. He just called it Ketanji.
The only answer I can accept is I was deceived. That's the only answer I can accept.
I guess. And you're right. Some of them obviously voted for the hate, voted for the quote unquote tribalisms. They I don't know. It's a lot. But I'm hoping that they're waking up.
Thank you, and me too.
I'm hoping.
And I appreciate you, Shay, for coming up here and just saying it, because these are organic conversations, and it shows that I don't run a cult. You can see that. Zeus doesn't run a cult. I'm the Rizzler. I don't need to. Right?
Okay, Poppy. You don't run no cult now.
Poppy Chulo.
Yeah, come on, Poppy Chulo.
Yeah. That's an inside joke. All right. A conservative woman who's with a Dominican man referred to me as Poppy Chulo, and that's just an amazing example of what happens when you're Triple H, honest, humble, and handsome, and the Rizzler at once. And
That's
she did
right.
that. She did that on the first time she met me. And
I know.
Old me, I would have done something with that, but the new me, I'm just gonna stay there and let her burn. W Zeus, and she had to lay there and burn. She got to keep the lust to herself. But all right,
Amen. I love it, man. All right, well, thanks for having me, sweetheart.
Thank you.
All right.
You have the recording, Ange. Let's go. Y'all got me cracking up this morning. Seriously, y'all got me cracking up this morning. I didn't mean to do this morning. Honestly, I was just gonna get on TikTok and go on about my day, but we having church. We're holding court. W's in the chat for Q Dog.
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Man, I'm about to get out of here and get this little girl from school.
Okay. You got
I
father.
wanted to definitely always daddy duty.
Hey, and that's a nice thing, because this is a black man taking care of his kids. Now, we normally don't brag about that, but we got to say that because we know we got that 85-year-old grandpappy that hangs out with wild man listening. Go ahead, Q Doug. I'm sorry.
A couple things I want to touch on. The live that you sent me yesterday with Mr. Tony.
Yeah.
It was entertaining for between him and Dame going back and forth with each other. But the reality is, like we said a long time ago. That's what they were waiting for. That's what they wanted. And see, they're so butthurt at this point in time because, oh well, I don't agree on everything Trump said. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's rewind time a little bit. Because before the election, before he stole office, with Elon Musk's help, you agreed with everything. See, these folks, and to a certain degree, I do agree with what Shay says. Some of them may not have voted for hate, but majority of them had voted for their own selfishness.
So you throwing in selfishness with it now? Oh, put that in the gumbo pot for 'em. Go ahead,
See,
Q-Dog.
you have to understand this. When folks want what they want when they want it and they don't get it, then they got to backpedal. But they're not going to backpedal all the way out of the pond. You know, they got to make sure that. Well, I don't want Massa to be mad at me, so I don't agree with everything Trump said, but Massa's still good. Make it make sense.
Q-Dog, they say you on the Democrat plantation. You got to be easy when you say that about these brothers out there. All right, come on, Q-Dog.
You know what I'm saying? The only plantation I'm on is the salvation for Jesus Christ.
Hey!
Now, I'm just like Peter. I pray for you in one hand and I'll cuss you out in the other.
Ooh.
So you got to understand who you dealing with. I'm just like Peter, that disciple. He'll cuss your behind out. But what I need people to understand is you're going to always have people like this. This isn't new. It's been going on since the beginning of time. Since the 1700s and the 1800s.
Amen.
When we had black folks like Tony. And I'm just have to put Dame out there because he toggles the fence. But here's the thing. They sold our ancestors.
For
a few coins. This has been going on since when Judas sold out Jesus for a few coins. It ain't never stopped. Just a different cycle, a different decade. The problem is you got people like Tony that feel, oh well, you know, I don't agree with racism. I don't agree with them calling the N-word. What do you think was going to happen? This man has put that seed in their head that it's okay to do that. You thought you were going to be okay and not have it happen to you. No, you still got that tone on your skin. You're not the exception of the rule because you got a little gray hair in your beard and in your eyebrows. You ain't white tea. You were not invited to the table. They made you think you were going to be invited. Now you trying to backpedal, saying, "Well, I don't agree with that, this, and that, and the other." But at the same time, you want to talk about disrespect. People, this white tea man, what was his name? That they were saying that was racist in that.
I just call him somebody's pappy. I don't really remember. I don't know the name.
How racist and disrespectful he was, but at the same time, you down in the chat and he just totally disrespecting you. But you didn't have that same energy for that white tea man that had the N-word. But you want to call Zeus all kind of names, and he's just in the chat just enjoying the back and forth between you. Make it make sense, Tony.
Oh, that was Tony. Yeah, he did.
That was Tony.
Yeah, he didn't mean that. He didn't mean that though. He's just trying to be himself. He's coming out.
He's trying to put on a clown show for the massa. I still tap dance for you. Yeah, I disrespect my brother for you.
Oh, don't do that.
Please don't call me the N-word, massa. Please don't call. Yeah. Make it make sense. They're not the only ones. And they want to, now you talking on the fence. Well, I agree with some of the stuff that Trump does, but not all of it. And then Janae happens to get hurt.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Get her little self.
My PTSD.
I wanted to give her a peanut butter and jelly sandwich so bad when she got up there because she need one.
Oh Lord!
And it's just amazing how she bouncing around in and out all these black men lives, but you married. You bounce around in men's lives more than you bounce around in your own bedroom with your husband. So you say. And you want to wonder why are they here? We here to enjoy the show. Because we told you it was going to happen. And that was one of the comments, I don't know if you were still in there, Zeus, where he was saying, oh, well, you know, they want to come back and tell us, oh, we told you so. We ain't trying to hear that. Well, you don't have to hear it. It's happening in real lifetime. You voted for this man. You thought he was going to commit to all the promises he lied to you about. Now you want to push off that negative energy towards us. Push it off on him. Go to one of the MAGA rallies. Because I'm quite sure J.D. Vance would enjoy your black behind going there, saying, I'm a Trump supporter, I'm a blagger. Go there and express yourself to them. They the ones who lied to you, not us. And I'll land my plan on this. You know, I asked this question before, Zeus.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Why are y'all so angry? Y'all got everything y'all wanted. You got the White House, you got the Senate, all the seats, you got everything that you can have on a privileged platter. Why are y'all so angry? But it came to me, Zeus. Why they so angry? Why? You want a understanding and a pat on the back from us to say, oh, you did it, you did that, and we're not going to do it.
Not at
We're
all.
going to try to fix this problem, but you want to stay in this mud. You stay your happy behind in this mud that continues to sink. They call it quicksand.
Quicksand. Bouncing around.
Keep sinking in that quicksand.
Tell him, Q-Dog. Tell him, Q-Dog.
And as long as you out there,
go ahead.
Don't expect for us to put that hand out to you like in that picture with Michelangelo, with Jesus putting the hand out. Don't expect for us to pull the hand out for you, because you decided to stay in that quicksand. You decided not to take the help or the encouragement to do better.
Amen.
You just wanted to be in your own simmering crap.
Wow.
That's in Donald Trump's diaper.
Hey! Q-Dog. Hey,
I'm done, bro.
All right. W's in the chat for Q-Dog. Wow, what a show today, ladies and gentlemen. I've never heard anything like this. A lot of people got... This is diabolical. This is crazy work going on social media. It's really unfortunate that we got to have shows like this where we got to pull over, park, and address some of the crazy stuff that we've been dealing with on social media. This is crazy. This is crazy. Oh my goodness. But yeah, that bouncing around from man to man on TikTok thing, Q-Dog, the Russian Bears, she knows she better knock it off. Good morning, Nutty. Welcome to the show.
Good morning, sir. How's everybody in the kingdom?
I'm all right. I just wanted to read something to you this morning. All right, now, this is what Mama Zeus just said. She said, "Hold on." She said, "Leave Nutty alone about your personal foolishness." And I gotta listen to my mother, bro.
Listen, anyway.
And so, okay, so
I'm gonna move on.
Okay,
but that was your last time just throwing me out to the wolves, just dropping me like you did like that. I cried for like 4 hours. I cried.
I mean, I'm just letting you know that I would normally be a little more out of control with it, but I'm gonna just let you know. Let's just let bygones be bygones, all right? Because I don't need to be getting in trouble over you. You ain't even worth it. All right. So, sorry. I didn't mean to say it that way.
It's all good. I'll beat you later. So anyway, I just want to reiterate what Takesha said.
Okay.
Satan also quoted scripture. So quoting scripture means nothing. Quoting scripture means nothing. Furthermore, let's talk about Morgan Freeman.
Uh-oh. Because that's what Snuggles brought up. Did you hear him?
Morgan? Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I heard him. I took a break. I've been door knocking this morning, and I was listening to Snuggles. Morgan Freeman, albeit that I love him as an actor, Morgan Freeman is someone of of privilege, because of his status, and because of his money, Morgan Freeman does not go through the everyday trials that we black men go through on a daily basis. Now, I'm not saying he hasn't gone through it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he hasn't gone through it. But by the sheer fact of where he is now in his life, the sheer fact that he has a ginormous platform, and the sheer fact that he has a fat bank account, people treat him differently. They treat him differently. So I would say that Morgan Freeman has somewhat lost touch as to what it is to be like a black man in this country, a fully black man in this country without the money.
He's privileged.
He's privileged
in his skin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he has every right to say whatever he wants to say. It's easy for him to say, let's not talk about it, because he doesn't deal with it in his face all the time on the daily. He still deals with it because he's still black. Even in Hollywood, at his old age, he still deals with it. But here's black folks, we are not a monolith. Can't you not tell, Snuggles? Because I know you still here. Because you got Dame. You got Dame, who was in that same cult that you're in. Dame is black. Dame is black. You don't see us other black folks following Dame because he's black and he's in your cult, do you? We're not monolithic. We have our own thoughts, we have our own feelings, and we have our own beliefs. So stop with this. Morgan Freeman said, we don't care.
Yeah,
we don't care.
His net worth is $250 million. I'm seeing Morgan Freeman. Yeah,
yeah.
If my net worth was $250 million, yeah,
exactly.
We could stop talking about it for a while.
Absolutely, because you're gonna move in spaces where that's not gonna be in your face every day like it is in ours.
Yeah. Tell him. Yeah,
tell the truth.
Shame the devil right there. Tell him $250 million. I'm pretty sure a lot of folks, they gonna go, okay, yeah, I ain't got time for that. It's not like it's not a problem, but they just gonna say, I ain't got time for that. I'm out here doing something expeditiously.
Exactly. And my last message is for Captain America, who came up here. Stop tone policing people. Stop it. If people want to go full scorched earth on people who voted for Donald Trump, then let them. That's not your place to say, we need to stop doing this, that, and the other. Because, brother, let me tell you something. There is no room at my table for any of them, because they knew what they were voting for, and they did it in spite of. You don't know, Captain America, I'm talking to you directly. You don't know a person's story. You don't know how their family may have been affected by it because someone voted for this tyranny that we have going on in our country right now. You don't know someone's story. So if someone wants to be pissed off and never accept an I'm sorry from them, then let them. That is their prerogative, because the people who voted for Donald Trump, they knew the game. They knew the game. The only reason they're coming around is because they didn't get what they were promised. That's the only reason they haven't come around. They're coming around. If it were not for the fact that Donald Trump is now slapping them in the face, they wouldn't have come around. So you can take that foolishness somewhere else, bro, because it ain't happening over here.
See, we allow people with different points of views to say what they need to say. And I asked them, I said, Captain, there's going to be a lot of people out here listening to you, champ. Just listen to them, though. Just listen to them, because a lot of this is coming from a good place. W is in the chat from Nutty.
Zeus, in the last presidential election, we had 174 million eligible voters that did not vote. 174 million. So miss me with this BS that we have to make room at our table for them. BS, we do not. Because there's more of us than there are of them. We don't need them. And quite frankly, we don't want them. because we don't want someone who's easily manipulated to go back and forth like jellyfish.
Back
because
and forth.
They're hurt now.
So Nutty.
So as much as I love Shay, no, and Shay knows this. I'm not saying anything behind her back because I've told her this in her face. Screw that. You can do what you want to do when talking to these people. That is your thing, and I respect that because Shay used to be a Republican. So let people who used to be Republicans, let them do the work on working on people who voted for Trump. Because it ain't happening over here, bro.
Okay, you've drawn a line in the sand about this.
No, I didn't draw a line. I dug a freaking mold.
Oh wow, W Nutty. See, he lives up to his name. You got to give Nutty a round of applause. He lives up to his name, and it's 100%. I've never seen him waver on the subbies in the chat from Nutty. That's why I tell a lot of people, I'm the nice one. I'm the nice one.
So to the Democrats out there, our job now and forever in perpetuity is to get people who don't take part of this process of voting, get them to the polls. That's how we will consistently win. We're not going to win by converting MAGA. We don't even want them because the fact that they had such horrible judgment, it should tell us we don't want them because their judgment is off. I will give people credit for voting for Trump the first time because they truly just didn't know. They truly didn't know. But after that disastrous 4 years in office, after all the racism, after all the sexism, after all the comments about grabbing women by the pussy, and I'm saying the word because I don't care. That should be enough to piss you off. Because what if that was your daughter? What was that if that was your mama, your sister, your auntie, them? How would you feel? The fact that you voted for him anyway tells me that you don't care. Because you knew this. You're not living under a freaking boulder. Only gold lives under boulder. And trust me, you're not golden.
Wow.
You knew what this man stood for and stand for. And the fact that that these people got him out there struggling to read scripture tells you he ain't never read the Bible in his life. Because when you read scripture, you read it with passion. You read it with vigor. Wow. You read it like you're not in the 3rd grade.
Vigor.
You read it like you're not in the 3rd grade. Yeah. Because you read it because you see punctuation there. He's even doing run-on sentence while reading. Come on, y'all, wake up.
Facts. W's in the chat for Nutty. Thank you.
As always, Zeus. As always, do good.
I will.
Seek justice.
Facts.
Keep pushing.
All right.
Y'all have a great day.
All right, there you go. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Nutty living up to his name. That's Nutty living up to his name, ladies and gentlemen. And unfortunately, Big Zeus has to run and get up out of here, ladies and gentlemen.
I love that rant.
Okay, so what brought you back real quick? Because you came up here last time. Are you reconsidering a little bit? I mean, I didn't need you to come up here and say you love what Nutty was
Alexa,
saying.
continue.
Huh? Ooh. Y'all hear him dancing? He's out there dancing. Looks, Max, you thought you was going to get me, but I got you. Nice try. And I just wanted to do this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and warm up the Lake of Fire. Looks, Max, he's on social media. He makes about $16,000 a year. He's out there fornicating. He's not willing to commit to a woman just yet, but he's willing to do everything he can to commit to Donald Trump, including dancing to his music in front of all of you. Hey, Looks, Max, if you turn on your camera and let us see you dance, and I'll let you do it. But other than that, do us a favor and go straight to hell. I don't need a mascot.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
W Zeus. I don't need a mascot, bro. But if you'd agree to turn your camera on and you let Big Zeus pick the song, I'll let you do it. W's in the chat for Alter Ego. It's an awesome show today, ladies and gentlemen. You all deserve a huge round of applause. I got to get up out of here. We laughed together today. We cried together. We tackled racism once again. And we put those folks on the right side of the aisle on notice that we are watching them literally self-destruct. I want to give a special thank you to all the subscribers, gifters, moderators, and panelists. Because honestly, without you, this show wouldn't be what it is. Entertaining, engaging, and very educational. Great skate. Wow. Wow, that was a surprise. Thank you so much. Wow, you figured it out. W's in the chat for Rick. Rick, you're always supporting me. Ange, I see you. Look at them, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you follow all these amazing creators besides myself, because they're the ones that put in a lot of the real work. I just get on a few hours a day, a couple hours a day, only Monday through Friday. I don't have the bandwidth, honestly, to do it like a lot of these other creators. Oh, and I forgot to say this. How many of you saw Popcorn come on my show yesterday? And word around town is that Popcorn claims he went crying to Parker. Parker's a great person. He's a great kid. And he went to Parker crying that Big Zeus cooked him. Popcorn, I just want you to know that is the most disgusting and despicable thing you could do, is literally running around on social media trying to level up by using Democrat creators. All right. And then you go and lie from one room to another. It's honestly some of the most despicable stuff. And I don't even think Trump taught you that. That was something you created in your own world, and you thought it was going to be something you could get away with it. You're not going to be able to get away with it. You didn't cook us on the show part. Popcorn. The thing about it is, once you told me you would sacrifice your daughter for Donald Trump, there's really nothing else left for me to do. All right. I refuse to go and be a worse person than you. At that point, there was a line drawn, so to speak. And I said, there's really nothing else left to say. This is a sick individual. And so you could continue to fly high on your, whatever, your own supply all you want. But on this show, you won't. Ladies and gentlemen, I forgot I needed to do this, but I need to do it again. Let's go ahead and pop us some popcorn. Let's go ahead and warm up the lake of fire. And this is for you, Popcorn. You are a sick person when you sacrifice your own daughter for Donald Trump. And there's nothing else left to say. Let's go ahead and send him straight to hell.
Silence, you MAGA demon.
All right, that's a huge W, Zeus. Let's see if we can get this Lego video to work on our way out of here. There's a new Lego video. You know, there's always Lego videos, ladies and gentlemen. We'll listen to that and wrap things up. And we are out of here. Let's go. My goodness, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. There we go. Does that work? There you go.
Yeah.
Have a great rest of your morning.
Breaking news, we coming live tonight. From the headlines to the streets, yeah, the tension's tight. Obama back, now the spotlight's bright. Something shifting in the game, yeah, you feel that vibe. Yeah.
Have a great rest of your morning.
Yeah, you feel that vibe. Yeah. From the east to the west, from the Bronx to the south. Voices getting louder, people speaking out. Democrats rising, yeah, they changing the route. Turning pressure into power, that's what it's about. Let me break it down, let me show you the scene. Numbers going up like you never have seen. Every post viral, every miss clean. Talking about democracy and what it means. Former president, stepping back in the frame. Millions watching every move, every word, every name. Message going global, now it's spreading like flames. Saying people still got power in the middle of the game. From Europe to America, the pattern is clear. Movements getting stronger, people losing their fear. Every vote matters, every voice you hear. And the energy building as elections draw near. It's the Democratic report, yeah, we live again. Every city, every state, feel the rise within. From the Bronx to Georgia, hear the crowd begin. Something big is coming, yeah, it's closing. Yeah, back in New York, yeah, the moment was real. Obama in the Bronx, now the cameras reveal. Kids in the classroom learning how to feel. Talking about the future and the power to heal. Teachers watching, yeah, the room came alive. Energy rising, you could see it in their eyes. Simple moments, but the meaning goes wide. It's about the next generation and the hope inside. Down in Georgia, yeah, the crowd getting loud. thousands in the building, voices breaking through clouds, talking about the system and the weight on the ground. Cost of living rising, people feeling it now. From the prices in stores to the bills every day, people asking questions like who's leading the way, and the tension keeps growing, it ain't fading away. Yeah, the pressure on the system getting bigger each day. Goals keep shifting, yeah, the numbers don't lie. Support going down while the doubts multiply. What was once strong now starting to slide. Different energy moving through the tide. Global tension, yeah, the conflict's still there. Took a war in the air, people watching with care. Every move calculated, every statement rare, but the outcome unclear. Yeah, nobody aware. It's the Democratic report. Hear the sound, every headline shaking up the ground. From the cities to the towns, all around. Yeah, the narrative shifting right now. Now we here, yeah, it's April again. 7 months to the vote, it's the rise before then. Every move, every speech, every play, every plan. Yeah, the fight for the future now is back in demand. Obama stepping in, now the pressure replied. Democrats pushing forward, got the momentum on their side. But the story ain't finished, yeah, the stakes still high. In the next chapter coming, no one knows what's inside. Breaking news, yeah, we live every day. Stay tuned to the story as it's finding its way. From the streets to the screen, yeah, we bringing the play. It's the Democratic report, we don't fade away.
Hey. All right, have a great rest of your morning. We're out of here.